So this week, I got the study, Thanks for the Memories. The author is Elizabeth Loftus, and the psychological areas this study falls under is cognitive psychology, specifically focusing on memory, eyewitness testimony, and misinformation effects. The study overview. So Loftus's study explores how memories can be altered or influenced by external information, particularly in the context of eyewitness testimony. She investigates how leading questions and post-event information can distort a person's recollection of events, leading to false information. So the abstract summary. So Elizabeth Loftus conducted a series of experiments demonstrating how memory is reconstructed rather than a perfect recording of past events. One key experiment involved showing participants a video of a car accident and then later asking them questions about what they saw. The wording of the questions influenced their responses. So when asked, how fast was the car going when they smashed into each other? Participants estimated higher speeds compared to the word hit was used. This study suggested that memories are susceptible to distortion, and especially when influenced by misleading information after an event. So my opinion on this. This study is incredibly insightful because it's challenging the reliability of eyewitness testimony, which was major. It does have major implications for the legal cases and also the justice system. However, while it's well supported by research, some critics can argue that real-world memory might be more resistant to change than lab-based experiments suggest. All right, so study description, methods, and results. So how was this study conducted? Like I said before, participants watched a video of a car accident. They were later asked questions with different wording. Some examples are smashed versus hit versus contacted. Their memory of the speed of the cars and whether they saw broken glass, which wasn't there, was recorded as well. And the results. So participants exposed to the word smashed reported higher speeds and were more likely to falsely recall seeing broken glass. This just showed that memory is malleable and can be influenced by external information after the fact. And like every study, the pros and cons. Pros were that the strong experimental design with clear manipulation of variables. The real-world relevance, which I'll mention after this in more detail, but it had helped the legal system and police questioning. And the cons to this study were that it may not fully reflect real-life situations, and some can argue that real memories may be harder to alter outside of a controlled environment. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And does this study have value? So yes, this study is very important, especially for those in law, psychology, or criminal justice. It shows the human memory is not always reliable, which is why eyewitness testimony can be misleading. It also helps law enforcement learn how to question in a way that doesn't influence or change a witness's memory. I know that's very important in my husband's job, and this has helped tremendously. Real-world applications. So like I said before, the criminal justice system, they use this to refine their interrogation techniques and courtroom procedures to prevent wrongful convictions based on faulty eyewitness testimony. So that's very, very important. Other real-world applications can include therapy and PTSD treatments. They helps us understand memory distortion, help with trauma survivors, and therapists can distinguish between real-life and implanted memories. And then lastly, education. So teachers can use this research to improve learning techniques by reinforcing accurate memory recall. And lastly, connection to modern research. So Loftus's work is still relevant today, especially with the rise of fake videos, AI-generated misinformation, and all of the social media manipulation as well. Modern studies continue to explore how false information spreads online. I'm sure you've seen that. People remember events based on like news and altered images. I myself have been guilty of that as well. And research on false confessions and memory errors for forensic psychology. It can also build on Loftus's findings, showing that wrongful convictions are often based on misleading police questions and techniques. So overall,